You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 at noon.
Well, good afternoon and thanks for watching News 8. I'm Sarah Tamer. President Trump is spending most of the President's Day at his holiday estate in Florida, but it's not a day off. Craig Boswell is at the White House with what is on the President's agenda.
President Trump spent part of his weekend holding a campaign-style rally in Florida, where he stood by his travel ban for people from 7 Muslim-majority countries.
And I've taken decisive action to keep radical Islamic terrorists the hell out of our country.
White House officials are working on a new executive order to replace the older order, which was overturned in the courts. It is expected to be unveiled this week. Citizens from the 7 Muslim-majority countries will still be banned from coming to America, but the new order will make clear it exempts green card holders and travelers already en route to the U.S. when the order is issued.
We'll be doing something over the next couple of days. We don't give up. We never give up.
The White House is also considering new guidelines from the Department of Homeland Security to aggressively detain and deport undocumented immigrants already living in the U.S. According to DHS memos, the agency would hire an additional 15,000 agents to enforce immigration laws. The government would expand the priority list for immigrants marked for immediate removal, including those charged with a crime, and it would direct for the immediate planning, design, and construction of a wall on the southern border. Protests were held against the president's immigration policies this weekend, and more are expected today. Craig Boswell, CBS News, the White House.
The DHS memos did not call for the overturn of a directive from President Obama. The Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, also known as DACA, would stay in place. That presidential order allowed more than 750,000 immigrants brought to America as children to obtain work permits.
A good Monday to you. It sure was a beautiful weekend, lots of sun, temperatures in the 50s and 60s. Now it's still mild today, but we do have some rain moving in. Let's take a live look on CityCam. The clouds thickened overnight and this morning, and a little bit of light rain is starting to fall, and that's why we did see a high a couple hours ago of 58 so far today in La Crosse, but due to the rain, we're back down to 53. 49 in Eau Claire, 53 in Prairie du Chien, and Sparta, you're still dry and at 58 degrees. A warm front is lifting through the area this afternoon. It's bringing some rain with it. We'll see rain on and off over the next few hours, maybe even a rumble of thunder or two. But that rain is going to be likely this afternoon, this evening, and into tonight. But the sunshine returns starting tomorrow. And how long do these warm temperatures stick around? All of those details coming up.
Well, there is serious damage to a La Crosse hotel after an SUV crashed through one of the hotel's walls. 30-year-old Jennifer Cash crashed into the Econo Lodge along Rose Street around 8 yesterday morning. According to police, Cash was reaching for a piece of gum from her purse when the accident occurred. No injuries are reported. Cash was cited with failure to keep vehicle under control and inattentive driving. Well, 2 weekend fires are being investigated in La Crosse. The fires were reported in 2 separate structures within a few blocks of each other. The first was on a house on the 500 block of Ferry Street just after 4 Saturday morning. The call about the second fire came in about 20 minutes later. That fire was in a garage on the 800 block of South 6th Street. Firefighters put both fires out quickly and nobody was injured. State lawmakers in Minnesota are scheduled to vote today on whether to get rid of a Prohibition-era rule banning Sunday liquor sales. The House is expected to vote to repeal the ban. It's not clear if the Senate will do the same. A local man is in the running for what foodies consider an Oscar of the food industry. Luke Zahm is the chef and owner of the Driftless Cafe in Viroqua. He's one of about 100 semi-finalists for the Best Chef in the Midwest Award from the prestigious James Beard Society. Zahm is the only semi-finalist who works in a rural area. Final nominees will be announced next month. And when we come back, this year's Rex and Queen are announced for La Crosse's annual Mardi Gras celebration. We'll talk to them live in the studio coming up next. Well, welcome back. La Crosse's new Mardi Gras Rex and Queen were announced this weekend, and they join us today to talk about the the La Crosse Mardi Gras celebration. So first of all, just tell me, what is the La Crosse Mardi Gras?
Well, La Crosse Mardi Gras, the Coulee region, is a fundraiser for Aquinas Catholic Schools, and we are hoping to raise money for tuition assistance, technology, and the fine arts.
Sure. So what's on the agenda for 2017? What do we have planned?
Well, we have this Sunday from 11 till 2 o'clock. There's a Family Day at Shenanigans. You know, $20 gets entry, and all the fun and games are included. And then this coming Tuesday, the 28th, is our annual Fat Tuesday celebration over at Legends, 223 Pearl Street, from 6 till 9 o'clock. So.
Awesome. Now I know you guys mentioned you do a lot of fundraisers. How much money was raised last year?
$20,000, and that was distributed among the area Aquinas Catholic schools for technology and improvements. And we're hopefully to do the same this year, maybe even more.
Sure, awesome. So now I have to talk about the costumes. What's the significance? They look awesome.
Thank you.
Well, it's a traditional Rex and Queen costumes, kind of modeled after the New Orleans Mardi Gras Festival. The Rex and Queen shows blue and gold colors, which are traditional Mardi Gras colors, and purple. But it's all in fun and part of the good cheer and cavorting, so to speak, that happens. So funny costumes and colorful costumes is all part of the festival.
So much fun and such a great cause too.
Thank you.
It
Yes,
is.
it is.
It is. Wonderful people.
Well, thank you so much for coming out here today and giving us your time.
Thanks for having us.
Here's a live look through CityCam 8. Michelle is in next with our forecast.
And now, meteorologist Michelle Podell and Storm Team 8 weather.
Well, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed this beautiful weekend. We had sunshine, temperatures in the 50s and 60s both days, even broke a record in La Crosse yesterday. Now today it is remaining mild, but we do have some rain. Let's check out our numbers today. It was a very mild morning. Temperatures actually 30 degrees above average this morning. We had a morning low of 45. We should be right around 15. A high so far today of 58. That was actually recorded a few hours ago, but because we finally have some rain moving into La Crosse, the temperature has now dropped to 53. We do have light rain falling at the La Crosse airport. The wind out of the south at 6 miles an hour, and the Mississippi River is right around 6.5 feet, and it's currently holding steady. 48 right now in Winona, 47 in Eau Claire, sitting at 56 in Black River Falls, and 58 in Sparta. And those winds are out of the south and southeast, a touch breezy at times at about 5 to 15 miles an hour. So temperature is going to stay very mild over the next several days. I think today, if we get a break from some of this rain, we could hit that 60-degree mark. Look at Tuesday and Wednesday, though. Both days, the sun will return, and those temperatures back into the low 60s, but then a return to reality as we head into the end of the week. A stronger storm system moving in, and that's going to bring our temperatures back down into the 30s by the weekend, but also going to bring us the potential for some snow to end the work week. We do have a few records that are could be broken or could be tied over the next several days. Our record for today is 61. I've got that forecast high of 60. Now tomorrow it's a little warmer, 64. I have a forecast of 61, but come Wednesday, I think we have a pretty good chance. That record is 62. I have a forecast high of 63 on the way. So we're dealing with clouds and that rain starting to move in, especially into some of our northern and western communities this afternoon. It's a big storm system that once the rain moves in, it's going to continue on and off through this afternoon into this evening and tonight, maybe even a rumble of thunder or two. But by overnight tonight, all of that rain will push off to the east and the clouds will decrease tomorrow. We'll see some sun along with those temperatures in the 60s. Now it could be a bit of a soaking rain as well, anywhere from about a ½ inch to possibly an inch of rain. So keep that in mind this afternoon and tonight. So cloudy and mild for today, rain likely, maybe an isolated thunderstorm, 60 for our high. The rain continues through about midnight tonight, still very mild, low of 42, and the clouds decrease tomorrow with highs in the low 60s. Low 60s again on Wednesday, just a slight chance of a shower mainly in our northern northern communities. Right now, most of Thursday is looking dry, but much cooler with highs in the mid to upper 40s. Come Thursday evening into Thursday night, that's when that stronger storm system moves in, and that's going to bring us a little wintry mix to begin, and then possibly changing over to a wet, heavy snow on Friday, and then it's going to bring those temperatures back down into the low 30s heading into next weekend. So spring lovers, enjoy the next few days because reality sets back in by the end of the week.
We call it Midwest reality.
We sure do, yes.
It felt like California, but we were too spoiled.
Yes, exactly.
Thanks, Michelle. Well, still ahead on News 8, art is moving beyond the canvas to places that go out the door with you. That's next in Consumer News. When you hear the word art, you may imagine people gazing at pictures in a gallery, but now some artists are going beyond the canvas and are displaying their craft in some unconventional places. Jill Wagner reports.
Raheem Johnson, known as the artist King Saladin, has always painted outside the lines.
I can remember just doing art in my house all over the walls. Like my kid room looked exactly like this.
He grew up in West Philadelphia and says a canvas wasn't always easy to come by. So King Saladin started painting t-shirts.
In the inner city, it's not many things you can go to like really get more into art.
15 years later, he's made a business of making art in unconventional places.
Totally outside the box is doing people's cars. That's crazy to me.
He turned this Lamborghini into a moving masterpiece. Clients have paid between $5,000 and $25,000 for his signature money bear on shoes, luggage, and bags.
I love the way it came out, yeah.
Ryan Hegedus asked King Saladin to brighten up this Louis Vuitton backpack, one of the first times he's ever paid for art.
So I get to take it with me wherever I go, whereas a canvas, it's on your wall, you can't really show it off.
And King Saladin isn't the only one thinking outside the frame.
I've sold a very similar table to this.
Pop artist Jojo Anavim put a contemporary spin on this coffee table.
Why do you think we are seeing art in other places, on clothing and in furniture?
I mean, you know, people have their personalities. They want to express their personalities.
For King Saladin, nothing is off limits.
I'm just going to do like a dope signature on it.
He even spruced up my smartphone case.
It's about an emotion. We're developing and branding a culture of all new creativity. It's big business and it's definitely not a fad.
A business of art that knows no boundaries. Jill Wagner, CBS News, New York.
And before we go to break, here's a look at what's for dinner tonight. It's a Beet Burgers recipe. And if you'd like this recipe, just go to our website at news8000.com. And stay with us, medical news is just ahead. Well, it's a familiar story, survivors meeting an organ donor's family for the first time. Each story is proof that sometimes in death there is life. News 8 had the chance to witness one of those meetings over the weekend in Unalaska. It was between the family of a man named Joe, who died from a brain aneurysm at 37 years old, and two of the people who are now living a quality life, thanks to Joe.
When you're waiting for 2 years,
I'm dying. I'm not going to get that call.
For a doctor to tell you.
They gave me about 6 months to live, so I was close.
Whether or not you're going to survive an illness.
You're not going to be around much longer.
It's hard to find the strength and hope. And if the cycle of life has taught us anything, our time here is limited. That's the way it had to be for Joe Anderson. He died July 2016 from a brain aneurysm and several strokes that later followed. Joe was on life support when his family decided it was time to let go.
The quality of life wasn't going to be there, and he wouldn't have wanted that.
But for Joe's mom, Michelle, letting go didn't have to mean parts of him couldn't still be here today.
Knowing that they have part of Joe in them, that's the first thing I says, I got to meet you guys.
When they found out about the match, 2 of the 3 people waiting for new organs connected through Facebook with Joe's mom. For Jennifer Glady, it was type 1 diabetes that required a new kidney and pancreas. For Cynthia Palermo, it was a kidney failure. Each had different journeys with their health, but they both now share something special.
Yeah, he was a good guy.
A new kidney and a new life, thanks to Joe and his family.
I just think it's awesome that he's letting them live on.
The gift of life.
They're precious child is saving my life.
Doesn't have a price tag.
I ran to my daughter's room and I've got a kidney. They just called. We gotta go now.
There are not words to be able to express how I feel.
And while Joe may not be here, parts of him are still very much alive.
An absolutely new life, start over again from scratch and appreciate everything that you have because you just never know.
Not only was I given a second chance at life, but my 4 kids don't have to go without their mom.
Now, Joe's 16-year-old daughter still has a letter from her dad that she kept in a journal. Well, as a thank you gift, one of the organ recipients carved some of the words from that letter onto a bracelet as a way for Joe's daughter to have a part of her dad with her too. And stay with us, we'll be right back after the break.
Well, the rain is moving in and it's going to continue as we head through this afternoon into this evening and tonight. Temperatures still very mild in the upper 50s to near 60.
Thanks for watching News 8. Yay.